This here is the set that you're probably used to seeing me sit in my videos. This is a corner of the room that I've decorated to look nice in my videos, and I fear it creates the illusion that the rest of this room must also look really nice. But unfortunately, such is not the case. This is my office/studio room, and while I am proud of what I've built for myself here, at this point coming in here sort of fills me with dread. It's cluttered, untidy, and the more work I have on my plate, the more I realize this place just is not optimized or great for workflow. So let's do something about it. And I would like to start with this desk. This is a studio desk that I bought from Thomann for about €300 new a couple of years ago. And it's an absolute steal considering what you get. It's absolutely huge, has tons of rack space, and is very, very heavy. But it's also absolutely huge, has tons of rack space, and is very, very heavy. Because while in general those might be positives when you're looking for a good studio desk, to me, they've just become a nuisance. I have exactly 2 rack units, my foam and power conditioner that this entire studio is plugged into, and my Audient Evo 16 interface, meaning that the exorbitant, huge amount of rack space that this desk offers has been serving mainly as storage for boxes and other miscellaneous crap that would usually go on a shelf. And clocking in at 180 by 80 centimeters, this thing is also just too big for me, leading to most of it just being used to put crap that has no place on a desk, like Subway flavored Lay's chips. And last but not least, I hate sitting. I sit all day. I sit to write scripts, I sit to film, I sit to edit, I sit to make thumbnails, and I sit to do my accounting. My back has had enough of my shenanigans. And so I recently reached out to FlexiSpot to ask if they'd be willing to send over one of their height-adjustable standing studio desks, which have plenty of room, but less than this desk, plenty of rack space, but less than this desk, and are built really well, but less heavy than this desk. So for task number 1, disassemble this behemoth of wood and metal. And assemble the FlexiSpot one in its place to save my back and save some room. Thank you to FlexiSpot for this desk and for being the sponsor of this video, and if you'd like your own standing desk, then hit the link in the description and go do something good for your spine. Second order of business is my humble little guitar workbench. A complete incoherent mess of tools, wipes, WD-40, and guitar parts. Now, space-wise, this little makeshift workbench is all that I need for the little bit of modding and setup work that I do, but it's just absolutely not usable at the moment. Now, this one was a fairly easy fix. All I had to do was take all the power tools that I rarely use and put them in a box under the table, and then get rid of all the junk, including like actual literal junk mail that I just throw onto that workbench, and voila! It looks nice again. It is fairly easy for a workbench in general to reach such a condition, and so I'm going to have to try extra hard in the future to keep it nice and tidy, because otherwise I do get really demotivated when it comes to guitar setups or mod projects and shit. One minor thing that I'd been putting off for way too long was hanging a second IKEA shelf next to the one back there with all my pedals on it. An asinine thing to procrastinate from for this long, given that it ended up taking all of like 6 minutes. And now that it's up, I can finally put my Blue Guitar Amp 1 Iridium, as well as my Line 6 Pod 2.0 up on display. Now, a part of my studio that I love to death, in spite of how rarely I actually use it, is this corner with black curtains in the background. Now, with the right lighting, there is potential here for some great shots, but as of like a couple of hours ago, this was more of the toss random crap into it because I don't know where to put it corner. But I've now changed that and put the furniture back where it belongs. Care for a drink? And finally, to round out this lovely little studio overhaul, which is already starting to feel like a massive weight being lifted off my hippocampus, I invested in a high quality and high capacity dehumidifier. The humidity in this room has been haunting me ever since I purchased my first ever guitar. It's not enough to cause mold to the point where it's really necessary to buy something to combat it, but it's very, very, very annoying, especially if you own like 30 guitars. And yet, I've somehow never gotten around to investing in a decent unit that can actually assist with that. So this was my studio a couple of days ago. And this is it now. Thank you again to FlexiSpot for being the sponsor of this video. If you'd like your own FlexiSpot desk, check the links in the description. Also check my Thomann Sweetwater and Music Store affiliate links in the description if you want to do some gear shopping and support the channel at no extra cost. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you around.